Hi, and welcome to Josh and Tim Talk Sports. I'm Tim Shire.
I'm Josh Dome.
And we're going to talk sports, of course. And then we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about the Cavs, talk about the Guardians, and we'll mention the Blue Devils a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
I see the football team signed a backup, fifth-string center yesterday.
Really?
Can't remember his first name. I don't know.
Could
Last
not
name
tell you.
Allen. Yeah. So I got 5 alerts in a row on that.
Oh, really?
It was a big deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, all the news stations.
I'm sure it
are you
matters a
kidding
lot.
me?
Yeah.
Come on. But what should we start with first? The Cavs or the Guardians? I guess the Cavs.
All right.
Guess the Cavs because
Tonight,
they're
right?
the ones in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yes, they have
tonight.
Tonight.
In Boston.
But let's go back to the Magic series a little bit.
Yeah.
Last week on the show, it was tied 2-2, and we ripped them. We did. We ripped them. And it's not like they didn't deserve it at that point. Mm-hmm. And then something, they won at home, and then they lost again in Orlando, and then they won Game 7. I mean,
Yeah.
they did what they needed to do, and they won Game 7. And that game in the first half they were losing. They were down by 18, but from that point on, something changed.
Yep.
And it was almost like they were like, okay, we're sick of this. And they ended up, winning the game by 10. And it's like, I told the person sitting next to me in the media section, I said, when they were down by 18, well, they got it to 15.
Yeah.
And I said to him, if they get this to 10 by halftime, they're winning this game.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yep.
And when you think about it, though, is there any indication what's happened in the last 2 months that if they got it to 10 at halftime, they would win? There's not. Because the third quarter's been terrible for them.
It's been their enemy. Yeah,
it has.
It has.
And they outscored them in both the third and fourth quarter last night. Or on Sunday.
They won the third quarter. That's a big key for them.
That's it.
It is.
It's huge.
It is.
And it was, there were not too many people there, and I don't think this is being pessimists, because I think I'm an optimist when it comes to the Cleveland teams, even the Browns. I picked them a lot of times when maybe I shouldn't,
Yeah.
I mean, or I've picked them for a better record a lot of times.
Yeah.
And they very rarely finish with the record I say they're going to.
Yeah.
But we know with the Cavs and Guardians, I'm an optimist, okay? But there were not very many optimistic writers there before the game.
Really?
And I wasn't either. I talked to a couple of my friends, and it was like, they're going to lose. Probably going to lose. But one told me they're probably going to lose, but I keep thinking home teams don't lose Game 7 in the NBA. And that I think that was the deciding factor. That crowd was there.
Yep.
But let me tell you this, in the second quarter when they were down 18, Josh, they were booed off the floor when they went to the bench for a timeout. They were booed off the floor.
I didn't even hear
and you
that
know
from
what?
the TV.
They deserved it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it kind of seemed like from that point on, because if I was a player on that team who appreciates the crowd, and that crowd that's been behind you all year boos you, that's got to be a wake-up call. Like, wow, these people, they're mad, And they played better.
Yep. And then by the end of the game, you heard MVP chants.
Oh, yeah. MVP. I love, there was one chant a little bit. These refs suck.
Oh, I
These
agree.
refs suck.
Oh, my God. The amount of fouls called. Me and my dad wanted to turn off the game just strictly because of the fouls being called.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was terrible.
They were out physicaling us and getting the calls. But I'll tell you a big turn in the game, I felt. Karis LeVert was huge.
Huge.
Okay,
I
but you
agree.
know who else was huge? And he doesn't score. But when Tristan Thompson came on that floor,
He always makes an
I saw
impact.
something brown fall out of Mo Wagner's shorts. You know it, because the last thing Mo Wagner wanted to see was Tristan Thompson on that floor.
I'd like to know if he even scored in the second half.
I don't believe he did.
'Cause I don't think he did.
Franz ended up with 6 points only.
Yep. Probably shooting about 20% from the field. If
Pablo
not worse.
Banchero had
30 something.
Yeah, and I think he had 28 in the first half. So he ended up with 10 in the second half. They shut them down.
Oh, yeah.
They shut them down.
They did.
You know, they did. And it was really good to see.
I
You know,
think
they shut Jalen Suggs up.
They did.
Who's still just famous for jumping on the table at the end of that game
Yeah.
when he was in college. That's it. He's famous for nothing else. Well, he could be famous for being one of the worst number 1 overall picks of all time. Because he's nothing. Even if he's okay, was he worth a number 1 pick?
No.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, they have another one of those guys on their team too.
Well, Banchero's good.
Oh no, Markelle Fultz.
Was he in? Oh, with the Sixers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then he forgot how to play basketball.
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, they get that money, and you know.
Yeah.
So they talk.
They talk.
So much.
That's gonna lose you games just like that.
Yes, and like Tommy said after the game when I was driving home, I called him. The Cavs don't talk at all.
No.
They don't talk at all.
No.
They just go out there and play.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They shut them up. They shut them up. I have to say, the looks on the Magic players' faces when time ran out was so fun to see.
It was.
Because they talked crap the entire series.
Yep.
And they're home now.
Yep.
They're home now. Yeah, exactly. Goodbye. They're home now. I love it.
Yeah.
Don't talk crap if you can't back it up.
Exactly. You got to know how to balance the energy and the talk. You got to know how to balance it.
And
you get all the energy, you start talking, then you start losing, you got none of it, and you're done.
They're
you're
one
done.
of the, and then you're humiliated after it's over.
Done.
Because you talked crap and you lost.
If you're going to talk, you better back it up and win that series.
Yes. Absolutely.
You got to know how to balance that.
Yeah. So, or how about this? You just don't talk at all.
Yeah.
You just play.
You just play.
So, because it's not like they were talking back to the Cavs, like they're responding to the Cavs talk.
Yeah.
The Cavs don't do it.
No.
So
They were just talking.
Cavs never really were a team that did. Even when LeBron was here, they didn't talk crap.
No.
Back in the 80s when they were good, they didn't talk crap.
No.
No. They just played.
They just played.
Yeah.
That's Cleveland.
That's how the organization's been.
They just play basketball.
Yeah. So.
But, I mean, one last thing about how they won that series I want to point out is I think the biggest thing that I've noticed in this playoffs to get a win is you got to have the winning mentality.
Oh, yeah.
You see what Anthony Edwards is doing over there in Minnesota?
He's pretty good.
He's got a killer instinct. He wants to win every single second.
But I love how
and that's
people,
what Donovan
and I think
Mitchell
he's
did.
real good. So I don't want people to think that. You're right. I agree.
That's what Donovan Mitchell
I don't want people to think I don't think he's good, because I think he's good. But they're talking already on the overnight show I listened to last night. He's going to be the new face of the NBA. No, he's not.
Not yet.
Anthony Edwards is not going to be the face of the NBA. He's not. He's not a bad guy.
Not yet.
So he's got to get in some trouble.
Oh,
first.
yeah.
Yeah, so then he could be the face.
True. They do like that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he's carrying them, isn't he? Cat is good.
I mean,
too,
Cat's pretty good.
Kitten is good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's good. I like him.
He's got a good stroke.
He's good, yeah.
Yeah.
If he had just gotten healthy a little sooner, I would have won the championship in the fantasy league. But that's okay.
But it's all right.
That's okay. He doesn't have to worry. I'm keeping him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cut him because of that.
Yeah. Little kid.
I lost.
He's pretty good.
I lost, but I'm not cutting you.
Yeah?
You know, Sam Merrill missing the most of that last game.
Yeah.
I still like Sam.
Yeah.
If he had been healthy, I'd
You know,
probably
Sam got some huge buckets in that game, too.
He did. He got the first 2 threes of the game. They were 0 for 9, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
As I wrote in my article, in the first half, they shot a putrid 18% from behind. Yeah, because I used another word. I can't remember what it was for their regular shooting percentage. Yeah. I think disgusting,
astronomically
or
terrible.
disgusting, maybe something like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm honest though.
Yeah, you have
If
to
they're
be.
good, I'm going to say it.
You have to be honest.
When they're bad, I'm going to say it.
That's
you
what
know.
true journalism is.
Yes.
Honesty. You need to be honest.
And there's not a lot of guys that everybody wants to not offend somebody.
Yeah.
When they're writing.
Unfortunately.
I got to go to that locker room and talk to them.
Yeah.
Well, one, I don't go to the locker room to talk to them. I've been down there once, and it was the visiting locker room in 2 years. And even if I did, I wouldn't be afraid to write it. They understand. I talked to Lynette Woodard at that Rockers reunion about how the media treated her after they lost the game when she missed foul shots.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I understood it. It's their job.
Yeah, it is.
So, like,
it is
yeah.
their job.
So, the great players understand it.
Real
They get
players
it.
know that.
Yeah. Because they know they're out there doing their job.
Yeah.
So, we got to do our job. And, you know, putrid was an accurate assessment
Yes.
of their three-point shooting in the first half.
Yes, it was.
You know,
very accurate.
When you go 1 for 11, they were 0 for 10. So until he made his right before. So they were 1 for 11,
Mm-hmm.
and that wasn't good. You know, but they came back in that second half, and
They did.
it was pretty good, and the place was crazy, and so that was great, and so we want to make our picks for the next round.
Yeah.
I know everyone's buried them. What do you got?
I think after I had my prediction right after the game the other day, but I think after really thinking about it,
You seemed to have a pick yesterday, but you didn't say.
yeah, I did. After really thinking about it, and after what you said, you convinced me to change it a little bit.
Okay.
I have Boston in 6.
Okay. That's fair. But I'm an optimist. I am. I'm an optimist. They match up against Boston.
Yeah.
I really think they do. Boston's not as physical as Orlando.
No.
Boston
they're not.
will have the NBA officials on their side. They will.
I just think they're more talented.
Yeah. Well, are they really, though? Maybe their top 2 guys are better than Mitchell and Garland combined. But what about the rest? Are they better than Mobley, Allen, and Okoro?
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
But their guys are stepping up.
And isn't Porzingis
If you watch
out?
the games, they're
Is
yeah,
Porzingis
he is.
still out?
He is,
Yeah.
but so is Allen.
Well, you don't know. He might be
We
back.
don't know.
I don't know.
They need Allen.
They do
In
need
my
Allen.
opinion, they need him.
Yeah, they do.
So
To win
whether-
that series, Allen has to
Yes.
play. I'm going to say Allen has to play at least 5 games.
and I think
And my pick,
okay, yeah.
they're going to win 4-3. They're going to win it 4-3, and it's going to be amazing. And there's no way did I think I'd be covering this team, at the end of May. But I think I'm going to be covering this team at the end of May.
Yeah.
And I also think, I'm going to say this too, even though New York's up 1-0, I think Indiana's going to win that series. Even though the officials helped New York last night.
Here's my thing: is as much as I hate New York, as much as I really, really hate New York, you can't lie. Jalen Brunson's playing amazing.
He's a punk.
Yeah, but he's playing really well.
Yeah.
He's
Well, that's
playing
because he can
really
do
good.
whatever he wants.
Well, he makes
He
makes
could
his shots.
He could
though.
take
he makes his
he could take a
shots.
machete on the court and cut off the heads of the opponent, and no foul. No foul. It's that's why he's so good there. Why wasn't
I
he
don't
that
know.
good in Dallas?
Because he didn't get the opportunity. Once he got the opportunity, that's when he got the paycheck.
And I think that it's...
And he started playing.
Yeah, I think it's...
I've been a Jalen Brunson guy from the beginning. I watched that kid
All
play
right,
in Villanova,
okay.
and he was good.
I hate Villanova.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't know.
I guess I just hated him since he was in college.
I guess, yeah.
I'm not gonna deny it.
Yeah, I think the dude's earned what he has. I mean, I hate New York and I hate the culture over there, and I think that it is unfair. But that singular guy himself is talented.
He's helped that team turn around. He has.
Yes, they're a 2 seed. Why are they a 2 seed?
Josh, they're a 2 seed by what? A half game or 1 game? I mean,
that whole thing. 2 seed,
if the Cavs, let's put it this way.
If the Cavs were a 2 seed, I'd be the same.
And the Cavs would be the 2 seed if they decided not to be the 2 seed in the second half or in the fourth quarter of that game, because they wanted Orlando. Okay, so the 2 seed this year isn't any big deal. Any of those teams,
but
New
2
York,
years ago,
New
without
York,
Brunson.
Milwaukee, the Cavs could have all been the 2 seed.
Yeah,
but Milwaukee rested players that day. The Cavs were going for it until things changed in the standings, and they would have had to play the Sixers. And then they were like, "Okay, we'll lose this game." So it's not like New York, as the Cleveland media likes to say, when the Guardians make the playoffs or the Cavs make the playoffs, oh, they got that by default. Okay, well, the Knicks got it by default because the Cavs decided they didn't want it.
Okay, but
it is true.
But my point being, 2 years ago, was that team in the playoffs?
No, they weren't. They
didn't have Jalen Brunson.
He has helped them. He has helped them.
That's my point.
But I still think he's a little overrated. He's good. He's good.
Wasn't he top 5 in MVP voting?
I
mean, he averaged more points than Donovan Mitchell.
It's still ridiculous, though. I don't think he's a top 5 player. I don't think
he's a top 5 player in the league, but I think he had a top 5 season. Because I think he had a top 5 season.
Okay, I guess, but I don't know. So, enough of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, that's fair.
Enough of a Nick.
Yeah.
But let's move on to their Cleveland Guardians.
They're getting back on the stretch here.
They are.
They're getting back on the stretch.
The road trip wasn't the best. It was 2-4.
It's all right though.
Then they came home and took 2 out of 3 from the
Angels.
Hapless Angels. They're bad.
And they don't have Mike Trout either.
Oh, no. Oh, Lord. I hope they turn it around with Ron Washington, but, I
like Ron Washington.
I don't think they want to win. I don't think they want to win.
I don't think they can.
I don't think they care about winning.
Yeah.
The organization doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came home. They took 2 out of 3 from them.
Nice
Carrasco
win.
had a nice.
He did have a nice outing.
Pitched a very nice game on Sunday.
How about that outing yesterday?
Speaking of nice outings, McKenzie. Why did he come out after 5 though?
I don't know.
I think he was only at 60-something pitches.
I believe he was at 70.
Was he? Still.
Yeah. I know.
Is 70 the mark now?
I know. Really?
I don't know.
I agree.
Okay.
I don't think
they won.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that we've been letting our pitchers go as long as they can.
This bullpen's going to suffer. It's going to.
That's what killed us last year.
It is.
That's what killed them last year.
I'm worried about that.
I think that's the biggest thing in baseball. You got to let the starters go as long as they can go. Like if they're in a situation where you got to take them out, then take them out. But he was not in a situation where he needed to be taken out.
No, he wasn't. He gave up a home run on the
He
first
gave up
pitch,
1 run. That was it. That was it.
Yeah,
Tim, that was it.
I don't know, but
they won.
They won, and they're 23-12, and they are tied with the same record they had in 1948, and they're 2 games behind what they had in 1920. But they are 7 games ahead of last year.
Which is big.
Yes. Yes. Because I heard from so many people, well, how could they be better? They didn't sign anyone. They didn't trade. Well, because they would just be better.
Yeah.
Because they were
more experience.
If you have baseball knowledge, it just that last year was not what they are. Some of those guys. Kwan said it. Jimenez had a down year.
He did.
They're just better. Will Brennan's better than last year. So they're better. They're better.
They are.
The bullpen is better.
And they did pick up some little key pieces that are contributing to these wins.
Yes.
And these young
Bo Naylor's here from the beginning.
Yeah.
He's had a rough start. He has. Hitting and some of the defense has been ugly. Downright ugly.
I agree.
But I still believe in him.
I do too.
And had that grand slam the other day.
Yeah, that was big.
That's pretty good.
That was good.
That's not
that
bad.
Was big.
Some guys go their whole career and don't get one.
I think he's got to cut down the strikeouts a little bit. I think
he does strike out quite a bit.
He's got to try cutting down the strikeouts a little bit.
And he's got to not have pass balls every game.
Yeah, start learning from Hedgie because he still looks good back there, baby.
He'll help him.
He still looks good back there.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's...
How about that homer, though?
Trying to tell him to he's taking the pressure off him.
True.
By letting him know, we struggle.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is. And,
oh, yeah.
And that's another big deal.
Yeah.
Why they should be better than last year.
Yeah.
Because he's back.
He's back.
And he matters. He matters. I don't ever want to look at his stats. I don't ever want to look at his stats.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Well, I mean, look at his defensive stats.
And let me tell you something, too. You know what?
Those are pretty good.
You know who else suffered last year without a guy? And he's not back, but I think it mattered to the bullpen. The bullpen suffered last year because they were overworked. But you know who else was missing from that bullpen last year? Who was there in the year they won they won the wild card series? Brian Shaw.
Brian Shaw.
He's another one that matters.
He does. Guys like that matter.
He is not stuck around as long as he has because he's like a bad teammate. He's a great teammate.
Yeah.
And you need that with young guys.
Especially,
they were lost last year, I think, without Hedges.
Yeah.
They were kind of lost.
Yeah. I mean, especially in baseball, the guys like that are so important.
Yeah.
Locker room guys. I think in baseball, it is more important to have good locker room guys than any other sport.
I think you're right.
Than any other sport.
Yeah. Because there's more downtime. There's more... Mm-hmm. The guy can sit in the corner and sulk if he had a bit. And then you got the good guy coming over and telling him, look, this happens. This is baseball.
And, the teams that are best gelled together are the teams that win.
And you ever notice this? Those high market, big payroll, they don't gel together.
No.
They're there for themselves.
It's just, they just talent and money. That's it. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
You got to gel.
And don't tell me that if somebody offers Juan Soto more money, that he won't leave New York.
He will.
He will. That guy is about as much of a good teammate as this TV.
I don't know. This TV's been a pretty good teammate for us.
It has been good. It's
I don't
been
know.
Here for us.
That might be a bad comparison.
Okay, the old computer.
Or the old,
oh, yeah.
It
was reliable.
It was.
That was
reliable. We'll call it the old computer.
Let's go with the old computer that freezes up and moves pictures on that we don't even know where they
gives us problems. Yeah.
This is about much of a good teammate he is.
Yeah.
But they won last night. They beat Detroit. That's big. Detroit's 5 out now. After starting out 5-0, Detroit has gone 13 and 17. So they're under 500.
Yeah.
And every team in the division is under 500 against teams over 500 except the Guardians. Okay? And how about the Oakland A's?
Yeah.
The Oakland A's are 17 and 19. All right? But the Oakland A's are 16 and 12. 16 and 13 when they are not playing the Cleveland Guardians. So what's that?
Winning.
Something's got to give there. Either the Guardians are good, or I don't understand.
They just have their number? Or,
I don't know.
The Guardians are good.
They're good. I think they're good.
Yeah. And
we're 35 games in. They're going to be, even if they lose the next 5. I had pressed wood, man. That don't even say. Even if they lose the next 5, they'd be 23 and 17 after 40, and that's a lot of the measuring stick right there. What are you after 40?
Yeah.
And they'd be 23 and 17, 46. That'd be 92 wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No.
That's a 16 game improvement over last year.
Yeah.
You know, the team that couldn't improve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Kwan being on the IL,
we have to talk about that. That is sad.
Well, I think what happened was I don't think he's hurt really bad.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of almost they don't want to burn him out.
This
is my theory.
Okay.
I've got a conspiracy theory here.
Yeah, we do that here.
I know, yeah. You like this one. It makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah.
I think that they were afraid he would burn out because he's playing every day. He's
playing
so
well. Good.
He's hitting so well. And you can burn out,
True.
So they were trying to figure out what are they going to do because he doesn't want a day off. What are they going to do? So I think like Friday night maybe, Chris Antonetti or Mike Chernoff were surfing the internet and they came across my article.
Yeah.
About Kyle Manzardo in spring training and why did they send him down? And it doesn't look good sending him down like that.
Uh-huh.
And I think, which one read it, called the other one and said, see this article?
Yeah.
We got to get Manzardo up here.
Yeah.
So they're gonna.
They did.
So they IL Kwan for a little bit.
Yep.
Manzardo comes up. If he plays well, he stays up.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play well, they say in their press conference, we were right, Tim, you were wrong. Kwan's coming back.
Yeah.
He's okay now, and Manzardo's going back.
Fair enough. That's a good conspiracy. I like that one.
It's about as good as some of the conspiracy theories
like that
people
one.
come up with.
I like that one.
So I know, all honestly, seriously, I hope he's okay.
I think
had these problems
I think
before.
in all honesty, it's not a super serious injury, but they are going to treat him as carefully as possible because he's playing well, the team's playing well, and they don't need him to be out there. There's no need to risk.
I bet he doesn't do anything for 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's no need to risk.
Except walk.
There's no need to risk.
Yeah.
I think that's just what it is.
I think you're right. The team is playing well, and hopefully they can keep playing well without him. But here's what I think happens if Manzardo plays well in the 4 weeks, and it's time for Kwan to come back. I feel like in these 4 weeks, Laureano and Florio, they got to play well.
Let me tell you,
because Manzardo's not going to be the odd man out.
Yeah.
One of those two is going to be the
And
odd
let me
man
tell you, I think Estevan Florio's really been stepping it up since Kwan got injured.
I think I'd rather keep him.
I
do.
I've been a fan of his.
Yeah.
I've said in previous shows. I watched a few of his at bats when he was with New
Flo.
York. Yeah.
You've been a fan of Flo?
I watched a few at bats in New York. I watched at bats this year. I mean, he's not swinging the bat bad.
No, you're right. I mean, he strikes out sometimes.
And but ever since Kwan got injured, he's gotten a hit every game since, I think.
2 games.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hit though.
Hey, it's better
well,
than nothing.
He's getting multiple hits.
It's better than nothing.
He's starting to hit the ball. He is starting to hit the ball.
On a serious note, if the Guardians and Progressive don't make a commercial with Flo and Flo, they're really missing the boat.
They are.
They're really missing.
That would be huge. That'd
really
be genius
are.
marketing.
They really.
Tim, you just brought them in loads of money right there.
I'm
if
sure
they see
know.
this,
I'm sure they know.
Come on.
Well, they're going to see this, obviously.
I mean,
They're gonna
obviously,
see this.
but
I mean,
why do you think Bieber started pitching well?
One of the reasons I want to mention it.
I mean,
because I know they'll see it.
Yeah.
But I think they really missed the boat if they didn't do something with it.
I agree.
And they're located here in Ohio.
Yeah.
And I don't know I think they have filmed some of those commercials in Ohio.
Yeah.
So, they got to do a Flow and Flow.
They got to do a Flow and Flow. I agree.
So we'll see.
Big money move right there.
Yes,
Be
I
smart,
think so.
guys. Be smart.
I got the world clock on now. Well, we're going to finish this off, but we're going to go. Before we go, we're going to see the Wicklow Blue Devils.
Yeah.
10-8 now.
Hot, baby. Hot.
Yeah, 10-3 in their last 13 games. And a shout out to Senior. Noah Dome, former technical producer, had 2 RBI yesterday.
Shout out Noah Dome.
And also a fellow senior, Chase Bonadillo, who is now hitting .404 and has an 11-game hitting streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
Yeah.
It's really been impressive.
Yeah.
The kid's improved in every aspect of his game. So I just wanted to shout out those two. Noah's come a long way hitting, too. He has. He's driving in runs. Noah's getting hits in key situations.
I think he's been way more productive this year.
He's getting hits in key situations, and it's really good.
Yeah.
But, so I think we got a game in Crestwood today.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, and then next week we'll tell you how team's doing then. But I don't know. It's getting hot out here.
It's getting hot.
It's really hot. It is. It's warm.
I'm sweating.
So until next week, I'm Tim Shire.
I'm Josh Dome.
And go Cavs, go Guards,
Go
Blue
Devils.
Devils.